Well, thank you very much, Nigel. And I think Nigel set out the agenda of the Huddle, and I think Huddle is modern and really what we're trying to engender today. And I hope in the first session, we will get into Huddle as we listen to the speakers and then engage in a discussion. So as Nigel said, we're very keen at representing the digital tech industry in the UK to take the opportunity that we think is there for the UK to position ourselves as a partner of choice to all the international community looking at the potential of 5G. And so we're delighted as techUK to be collaborating with WWRF in delivering this conference. Those of you who don't know techUK that well, we are the trade association. We have over 800 member companies, 500 of them are SMEs, but they are all of the international names that you would recognise as well. Our members employ about 500,000 people in the UK, so a well-established capability in the UK. And we represent the whole of the industry, from chips to clicks, so ARM and Intel through to Google and Yahoo, and everything in between, including a very strong focus on the digital infrastructure and telecoms. And part of our job in that instance is to talk to stakeholders, particularly the government, about what is needed to, as we put it in our manifesto here, secure our digital future. And I would just like to do a little plug. You'll see some copies of this outside, and you can also download it from our website, and you can join in conversation which is going on Twitter at hashtag techUK manifesto. We'll be presenting this again at party conferences, but last week we had all three major parties standing up and talking to invited audience about the 24 points in here that we think are important to secure the digital future of the UK. And of course, a big piece of that is obviously the digital infrastructure and 5G and everything that implies. We are not newcomers to this area. We already participate in 3 forums along with government stakeholders and others, the most important of which, or the overarching one, is the total information economy strategy for the UK, which is done through the Information Economy Council. I'm delighted the previous chair of that is one of our speakers this morning, and this evening the current co-chair along with us as the industry body, Ed Vasey, Minister of State, is coming this evening to talk to you. But we also have more specialised forums, and we have recently launched the UK Spectrum Policy Forum, and many of the companies represented in this room and other stakeholders are involved in that, over 100 companies, and you can learn more about that directly after today's conference at 4:15 at a reception to mark the first year anniversary of the forum, which is where I think the Minister is talking. But we also have a more general Communications Policy Council, and that is looking at coordinating cross-industry views on government Ofcom policy, regulatory proposals. So we're very engaged at the moment in the government's digital communications infrastructure strategy and the various discussions with Ofcom. So if you have a strong interest in Spectrum, one or more of these four will be relevant to you. And I should also just highlight the fact that we are also the host organisation for the broadband stakeholder group, which looks more at the fixed line element of the comms infrastructure, but is relevant as well. So back to the business of today. I'm delighted to say for this session, and I think for all the other sessions, but I'm only moderating this one, so let me plug this one. We have an excellent set of international speakers, panellists, and it's good to see a mix of UK and international delegates. It's really international collaboration that will make 5G a success. And there are many perspectives developing around the world about what 5G is and what it can bring. Nigel has touched on that, so I won't go further, except to say probably for us in techUK, the starting point is about the customer experience and about the ability to connect all of the apps and all of the things that are to come in the future together. So we will be working with partners like WWRF on this across the whole of the technical and the policy and regulatory landscape. You will hear also later today a reference to a thing that we will be launching shortly in full, but we are already ready to start with looking at this space, which is techUK's Future Technologies Network, and that's intended to be a network of technical people and people with a technical interest inside a membership and in the broader community, including academia, to focus on what technical issues need to be addressed, as well as policy, commercial and other issues. Okay, so let us start. We have 3 speakers with us who are each going to use the format of talking for 15 to 20 minutes and then taking questions from the floor. I think most of our speakers can stay for the full session, which is due to end at 1, although I think, David, you have to leave shortly before that. So that's why we've set it up that way, and we hope there'll be a lot of interaction at the end of each of the formal presentations. The first speaker that I'm introducing, unfortunately, will not be able to take questions, and I'm sure that's just for this occurrence because it's appearing by video, and I would like to introduce that now, which is from the Secretary General of ITU, International Telecommunications Union, Dr. Hamadan Toure. I think we're going to roll the VT and hear from the ITU, the UN's body responsible, their views.
Excellencies, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, there is buzz in the industry on future steps unfolding in mobile technology, and it's all about 5G. Yes, attention is now focused on enabling a seamlessly connected society in the 2020 timeframe and beyond that brings together people along with things, data, applications, transport systems, and cities in a smart, networked communications environment. In this context, ITU and the ICT industry have recognized the relationship between IMT, ITU's global standard for today's 3G and 4G mobile communication systems, and 5G. The detailed investigation of the key elements of 5G is already well underway, once again galvanizing the highly successful partnership ITR has forged with the mobile broadband industry and the wide range of stakeholders in the 5G community. Dear friends, the 5G Huddle brings together the innovators and the minds that are exploring the future direction of mobile communications. This is an opportune moment for us to look toward a global vision for 5G. The contribution of the Wireless World Research Forum to the ongoing development of IMT has been very valuable in the past, and we look forward to continuing this fruitful collaboration with you now and in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, the work of IMT has been ongoing for nearly 3 decades in ITU. It has been an open process among ITU member states, national and regional standards development organizations, equipment manufacturers, network operators, academia, and industry. Our collective achievement has revolutionized the way people communicate around the world. We are now working together with these partners in the same open process to establish the criteria for IMT 2020 and beyond. So what will 5G be? This is a question being asked today. The exponential growth in mobile broadband is already witnessing a boom in data traffic. The increasing development of M2M calls for an approach that will address a full gamut of applications and devices that are beginning to emerge. 5G will need to meet some challenging requirements. It will need to be able to provide very high system capacity and extremely high data rates. 5G will have to support a variety of applications, environments, and the deployment of machine-type devices. Along with more efficient spectrum utilization, it will need to provide reduced costs, better energy saving, greater systems robustness, as well as a higher level of security. With billions of devices deployed, 5G may also require self-awareness, self-adaptability, and simplified management capabilities. And very importantly, 5G will need to continue to interface with existing systems. The ITU activity to address the longer-term vision for 2020 and beyond is well underway, and an ITUR report that will provide the framework and overall objectives of the future development of IMT is expected to be finalized in 2015. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in for exciting times. IMT is the enabler of new trends in communication devices, from the connected car and intelligent transport systems to augmented reality, holography, and wearable devices. It is a key enabler to meet social needs in the area of mobile education, connected health, and emergency telecommunications. And it holds great promise to address some of the global challenges of our time, such as climate change and smart energy management. E-applications have transformed the way we do business and govern our countries, and smart cities are pointing the way to cleaner, safer, more comfortable lives in our urban conglomerates. There is much more to come that we can only begin to imagine. That is why we are gathered here today, to chart the future. I wish we would productive Huddle that will go a long way in creating the 5G environment and explore the challenges and opportunities it presents. Thank you for your attention.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's a scene setter and some points that I'm sure our other panelists will pick up as we go through the morning. And I'd like to start now by introducing the first of our speakers in the room today, which is the Right Honourable David Willetts MP. And it's a great pleasure to introduce David as a speaker. He's the MP for Havant, but until recently, as many of you will know, was the UK Minister responsible for universities and science. And David, anyone who had any dealings with David during that time knows that this was a passion and wasn't just going through the ministerial motions, that David was a huge supporter and has been for a long time for UK science, technology and innovation. And I know he has a particular interest in 5G. Speaking as the industry body and working, my president, Victor Chavez, was co-chair with David on developing an information economy strategy almost for the first time across the broadest spectrum. I'm going to use that word a lot today, I think, but David's support in doing that was outstanding. And we would have anticipated a very interesting presentation and speech from him anyway. But I think given the fact that he's now no longer a government minister and is therefore able to speak even more candidly, because David has always taken issues directly, as any of you have heard him speak before know, but possibly we might even get just a few more insights into his perspective on 5G and the UK's role in international activities. So David's going to speak for about 15-20 minutes, and then he's agreed to take some questions, possibly staying here, although there are mics at the top. So please join me in welcoming David Willetts. Thank you.